Welcome back to this special broadcast on Independence Day. We're joined by Gopal Krishna Agarwal of the BJP, Pratap Singh Bajwa of the Congress, Chengal, Reddy, and Sharat Pradhan, senior journalist. And we will go fast now because there are a number of issues to be covered. And I'd like to begin with Sharat Pradhan. Sharat Pradhan, do you see any change in policy towards Kashmir when the Prime Minister says Kashmir ki samasya ka samadhan gale lagakar hi kiya ja sakta hai, gali aur goli se nahi?
Actually, this is not the first time that he has said this, but certainly the fact that he is re-emphasizing on this, he has said this earlier also, but fact of the matter is whether this policy is actually practiced on ground. He said it earlier also, but it wasn't, that wasn't the case on ground. So if it is actually followed by the people down the line, I'm sure it could make a lot of difference. And the fact that he is talking about it, probably at the end of the day, he has also realized that Vajpayee's policy was the best solution to this age-old problem. So I'm sure things will change. The fact that he is making this kind of a statement from the ramparts of the Red Fort, I'm sure this should bring about a change. And also, you know, there is a lot of other political messages. You know, for instance, he talked about the flower blooming in the Nilgiris. Now, you and I don't know whether which flower and what flower. But the fact, and then he talked about Supreme Bharti.
Sharat Pradhan, I'll quickly get in Gopal Agarwal. I'll come back to you because I want to pursue this point on Kashmir. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, is there an acknowledgement within the BJP and the government that the last 4 years in Kashmir have not been good? Look at the statistics. 43 personnel are security personnel killed in Jammu and Kashmir. This year, 16 civilians killed as well. In 2017, 80 security personnel killed, 40 civilians also killed. In 2016, 18 civilians killed, 82 security personnel killed. But yes, a large number of terrorists have also been gunned down. So is there an acknowledgement that there needs to be a change in approach towards Kashmir? Gopal Agarwal.
No, I don't think there has to be a change. What Prime Minister has said that there has to be a change in Kashmir policy. He mentioned that gale lagana is also an important part of the policy. But kisko gale lagana? जो हमारे देश के यूथ हैं जो मिसगाइडेड हैं, टेररिस्ट को थोड़ी गले लगाना है. For them there is army action, for them there is paramilitary action, and for the Pakistan infiltrators there is surgical strike. He has talked about surgical strike, the role of army in maintaining internal security and the border security. So Kashmir policy is different for different people, and terrorists are at the run. Their financial backbone is being broken. So Kashmir is a complex issue, and everything, Pakistan has to be dealt differently, youth of Kashmir have to be dealt differently, political process has to be dealt differently, and terrorists have to be dealt differently. And he says it's a mixture of gale lagana and strong arm policies. So that's nothing changed. I think strong
Pratap Singh Bajwa, how do you respond to Gopal Agarwal? He's saying there is no change in the Kashmir policy.
Just a second, please.
The Prime Minister also emphasized that we are following what Atal Bihari Vajpayee has said on Kashmir.
Yeah, that is there. That means in the 5th year, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, he had to concede that my 4-year policy on Kashmir has totally failed. He is going back on Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's policy. Number 2, I want to say this on the your channel. The foreign policy of India has completely failed. All our neighbors, even Nepal, a Hindu nation, is today in the lap of China. Pakistan has become a satellite of China. Maldives has just told the Indian government, remove your military apparatus from Maldives. Sri Lanka is also today, China has thrown a bait. Bangladesh is also in the lap of China. What is he talking about? All of foreign policy has failed. The Kashmir policy has failed. The foreign policy of India has failed. He is a one-man army. He even does not take the external affairs minister, Sushma Swaraj, along with him. He's just embracing Trump and others. Even Russia, one of the most committed allies of India, today has had military these exercises with Pakistan.
All right.
What are they talking about? He has failed on the domestic front. He has failed on the foreign front.
Next
issue.
Failed
on the economic front. He has failed on all fronts.
Sharat Pradhan, do you feel that it would have been better? He spoke about women's empowerment. He spoke about the fact that we are going to grant permanent commission to women through a transparent setup through the Short Service Commission. He spoke about triple talaq, but what happened in Deoria, what happened in Bihar, in Muzaffarpur, in Bihar, that was extremely serious. We've seen incidents of lynching. We have seen a huge debate over NRC. Do you think these are issues that should have been addressed by the Prime Minister in his speech?
Well, certainly it should have been addressed. They have been skillfully, he skirted all these issues which are extremely fundamental to maintaining law and order in the country. You know, just talking about women being saved on account of triple talaq, fair enough, Muslim women, that's a good move. But the way the rapes are rampantly going on all over in different parts, particularly in states like UP and Bihar and even Madhya Pradesh, something drastic needs to be done. By simply citing two examples of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, which he did in his speech, where quick dispensation of justice by the judges sent these guys to the gallows, the rapists to the gallows. But that is not a solution, because that must have been a case where some activist judge took the lead and decided to take an early decision. But the fact of the matter is that in most courts, these people go unpunished. So some law, the judicial, something has to be brought about, a fundamental change has to be brought on the judicial system to ensure that these people are punished.
Chengal,
lynching is something which is skillfully, carefully avoided.
We'll take the last round of questions now. Yeah. I get your point,
Muslim women also
Mr. Sharat Pradhan, but Chengal Reddy, the Prime Minister spoke a lot about reforms. He said the pace of reforms today is much better than what it was way back in 2013. He spoke about electrification, how electricity has reached the remotest corners of India, how the farmer today is happier, how the government is committed to modernization and doubling farmer incomes as well. Did you see a roadmap over here? What are your expectations in this election year from Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
See, the failure of BJP government is evident on 2-3 specific areas, especially in regard to the rural areas. Look at almost every state, there is agitation going on for reservation. Reservation for what? But 2-3% of government jobs. I mean, any community, every community wants to do the so-called reservation. Then the fundamental question that can you make agriculture sustainable, Mr. Modi hasn't able to answer. And lastly, the institutions. You see, what we expected Mr. Modi in 2014 when he came, most of the governmental institutions functioning is very, very below standard. Therefore, we thought the reforms means reforms in terms of technology to farmers, efficient governmental functioning, and reforms in terms of liberalization, incentivizing, and resolving farmers' issues on permanent basis, such as risk mitigation or long-term export policies. But if you look at today, there is no commodity, every commodity is in distress. Milk, sugar, wheat, rice, pulses, none of them, there is no purchasing, there is nobody to purchase. Is it because of mishandling of government? Or is it because there is no proper policy of exports and processing? Yes, it is obvious. See, look at us. As a farmer, we have produced not only for the national needs, in fact, we have produced so that we can export. But then it's where the government has failed. This is highly disappointing. See, Mr. Modi somehow has gone astray because he seems to have thought so-called reforms in demonetization for foreign affairs. Instead of setting his home, first of all, he has to have set right his home, that is rural areas and farmers.
One thing is certain.
He should have taken priority in that, but then he missed the bus.
We've completely run our time.
Yes.
We've completely run our time, but we'd like to thank Chengal, Reddy, Pratap Singh Bajwa, Gopal Krishna Agarwal and Sharat Pradhan for joining us. This is going to be a challenging year for Narendra Modi. He hit out at the opposition. He wanted to leave a legacy behind. He wanted to talk about his achievements. Yes, there have been developments on the economic front, but there are challenges as well. Rahul Gandhi, the Congress will keep up the attack on the government, and in the days to come, we will see a battle, a huge battle between the Congress and the BJP. And the opposition will also be hitting out at the government. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on this special Independence Day broadcast.